Hi, let's be honest, most LLM agents out there in the internet are pretty dumb when it comes to explaining themselves. By now the A2A protocol has established itself as the standard for communication. We have our own agent card, we write a nice description in it, making the thing available to our client and hope for the best. So this works great as long as the knowledge is static, say a simple PDF. But what happens if the underlying data source is dynamic? Then we've got a huge problem. The static description suddenly doesn't match the actual data in the vector store, for example. Description and reality drift completely apart. But let's look at reality. Data lives. For example, I'm currently building a scraper that pulls daily news. So the knowledge in my database changes hourly. One day we scrape everything about tech stocks, the next day there is a fire somewhere. If my agent still announces itself to the network with the same static description, it's useless. I only want to be pinged by other agents if I actually have context for the request. So the solution is not to edit the config file manually every morning. The solution is Raptor. Raptor takes information chunks, you cluster them, and then you create summaries with an LLM for every cluster. You embed the summaries and then cluster the summaries again and repeat that cycle until you've got one root document. So we use that recursive summarization approach of Raptor to distill what our agent knows right now and push that directly into the agent card. So the agent stays relevant no matter what is scraped. Just a quick warning, this is an expert level video. To fully follow along with this video, you should definitely check out my previous videos on the A2A protocol and Raptor. And as always in my channel, we now dive deep into the code. Okay, I'm now in VS Code. As always, you can get the link to this repository in the description of this video. So first we're gonna start with this text. So this is just some generated text with 3 different topics about elephants, football, and programming. So this is what we will cluster, summarize, and at the end provide the summarization of that content as agent card for our A2A dummy server. So we first have a look at the notebook. So here again, that is the Raptor style hierarchical summarization. So we first split this document into manageable chunks, then we embed the chunks, and we will run PCA on this project. So this means principal component analysis, which will reduce the dimensions of the vectors from 1536 to just 2, that we are able to visualize them. So this means we lose a lot of context, but it allows us to see the points in a graph. At the end, we will cluster the chunks, visualize the clusters again, and summarize each cluster with an LLM. At the end, we do that again until we've got the root document. So first we have to install the dependencies. So you can just run that line of code. We import the OpenAI API key. So this is in my.env file. You also have to use this OpenAI API key. Okay, after that we can import the required libraries. So we will use Matplotlib for the visualization, also Seaborn, sklearn cluster, where we will use k-means clustering, and also the PCA class for the principal component analysis. And of course we also need some LangChain classes like the recursive character text splitter to split the document into multiple chunks, chat-OpenAI, and some more. After that we can just load the document into memory, so that is the file, and then we can just use the path class and read the read text method of that class to read that into memory. And after that we can use the recursive character text splitter to split the text which we loaded here, provide that as argument, and at the end what we're gonna do is we store that in a data frame. We do that because this makes it easier to run k-means clustering over that. Pandas is just the perfect package for any classical machine learning techniques. So let's run that. That should still be pretty quick. And here that is our data frame with a chunk and chunk ID and the text. So we do that for, I guess, a few thousand documents. And next step is that we embed the documents. So I'm gonna use text embedding 3 large. Okay, we just got 857 documents. Here is the embedding length. So that is what our NumPy array now looks like, and we can use that and pass that to the PCA class. So what we want is to reduce the dimensions to only 2. So we provide the first argument and components equals 2, and the second one is random state, which is 42. That just means that you get exactly the same results as me. Then we use the fit transform method where we pass our vectors. So at the end we store our vectors in a new column in the data frame, PC1 and PC2. That is now our coordinates. So if we have a look at that, then we can see that every vector now has got 1 point on the x-axis and 1 point on the y-axis. And we can visualize that with matplotlib and Seaborn. So that is how our embeddings look like. Okay, so the next step is that we're gonna calculate a so-called silhouette score. A silhouette score is a single metric that shows how well each data point fits into an assigned cluster while staying clearly separated from other clusters. What we're gonna do is that we will start with 2 clusters and then we end with 15 clusters, and at the end we get a score, and the higher the better. So we now do that and we get a list of scores. So you can see for 2 it is 00382 3, and the higher score is here for 3. That doesn't really surprise because my text contains information about elephants, programming and football. So best for 3 is pretty clear, I guess. And now we can use 3 clusters. Here we're gonna set this as static variable and use k-means on that. So we're gonna now cluster our dots, and at the end every dot got 1 cluster. So cluster 0 has got 226, cluster 1 402, and cluster 2 229. So at the end this looks like this. Now every dot has got its own cluster. So what we do now is that we get the chunk of each cluster and create a summary with an LLM. So that is what we're gonna do here. So this will at the end give us a text, and we also store that in a data frame. What matters quite a lot here is a good system prompt. So what we want is a summary for each cluster, and here in this case we could also use a structured output, but we can directly also do that in a prompt. So what we want is it should identify the topic for all of the chunks and also provide a summary, and then the user requests that. And at the end this is how it looks like. So that is the topic, elephants, programming and the evolution and impact of football. The next steps are that you actually do that again. So in this case we just convert it into a data frame again, and then we embed the summaries again and recluster that. So at the end, so this is how it looks like. It doesn't really make sense anymore because we only got 3 clusters, but as you can see they are quite far apart from each other though. So that's a good sign because it means the clusters are quite stable. So at the end we just gonna produce a root summary of these, let's still call it clusters, but at the end we should get a description of every summary, and that means elephants, what we got, programming and also football somewhere here in the prompt here, football. So this means that with Raptor the LLM identified the high-level topics of that document, and we can now use that root summary and provide that for dummy server as description. So we just save that in this case in a text file, and now we've got our dummy server. So that's a very simple A2A server. Pretty much the raw boilerplate code. The only dynamic part is here in the agent card, the description, load root summary. That is a function that reads our text file and dynamically provides it for our agent. So if we run that, uv run python and then dummy server.py, then we can go to localhost port 8002. So here it is. The agent card lives under .wellknown /agent-card.json, and here is the description. So this description is normally used for an LLM to determine whether it's worth it to ping that agent or not. And that high-level information is what Raptor gave us. So what do you think of the combination of A2A and Raptor for often changing knowledge bases? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye bye.